我叫 Brody， 还有这是 the Nomad Barista. And I'm doing this in Chinese because, as I introduced in the last video, I just arrived in Kunming. It's a city that I used to live in about 7 years ago. This is my really good friend, his name's Daniel. They call him Jinyi, and he's a Kunming local, and we are now actually eating one of Kunming's most famous, this is a Yunnan's most famous food. It's called guoqiao mi xian. Guoqiao actually means over the bridge, and then mi xian is like this rice noodle. So we just added the ingredients, and now we actually have to add the noodles themselves. And the story behind this guoqiao mi xian is that back in the day there was a philosopher, and he always sat on this island in the middle of like some sort of lake. There's beautiful scenery in Yunnan, and he would sit there and he would do his reading, and he would do his studying and his writing, and he always wanted soup delivered to him, like some nice rice noodle soup. But by the time it got to him, it was always so cold. And so what they decided to do was just make a very, very hot broth, put oil, a bit of oil on top to keep the heat in, and then bring the ingredients separately. And so when you bring the ingredients separately, you can actually cook it in the soup, and then he could enjoy his noodle soup while he was philosophizing out in nature, and we still do it today. So I'm gonna give you a quick coffee tour of Kunming, what we can kind of find today, walking around the city, walking around North Kunming, and we're gonna enjoy some nice food. So please join us. 欢迎光临. So we actually came here to Muji, to this concept called Cafe and Meal. I ordered an espresso. It's not bad, it's not good, but it's interesting that Muji is like incorporating a lot more like food and beverage into their whole experience. So like this is a Muji flagship shop. Apparently there's only 4 in China, and Kunming has one. It's really cool though. I mean, Muji's cool. I just wanted to take a quick stop at this very becoming well-known coffee brand here in China. It's called Luckin Coffee. Don't ask me what Luckin means, but they decided to use this name. Apparently it's the same owner as their sort of like Chinese Uber. It's called Didi. And anyways, they started this company, and it's been growing super fast. They actually used the marketing strategy by just like essentially giving away free coffees during the first little bit, and then over the last 3 years since they've started, essentially all their coffee is about half price. So I'm not entirely sure, a lot of action going on over here, how they are doing their business, but apparently their market value is going up incredibly, almost reaching that of Starbucks in China. So as you can see, to me it's a little bit like the Chinese version of Tim Hortons, though China is getting their own Tim Hortons as well. And as you can see, we have some nice display of meat back here. You can mix that, it's a really nice flavor pairing with their roasting profile. You can see a nice little tail here. So hopefully that goes well with the coffee, and I'm not gonna try it, but you can trust me that it is growing very fast here in China. So we have to order through the phone, not through this menu.
We checked the menu on phone, but I cannot find the menu. I need to scan again. Okay, they have guixia. You know guixia?
Geisha.
Geisha, yeah.
So this is becoming a reoccurring theme here in China. It's practically all electronic now, and you have to use apps to order certain things. So Daniel just logged out the app, so we had to go back and get the menu. But they have a really interesting pour-over menu. We got Colombia Geisha. There's a pink bourbon. We might just split a pour-over. What is that one?
Indonesia, Sumatra.
Oh, Sumatra.
Yeah, Sumatra.
So we got a nice little cookie with our Colombia Geisha. This I've never had in China, but we're about to dig into it. This spot is like super beautiful.
It's like a tea. 哦，对，而且你告诉一下它这
You
个
have to
名字
smell this.
是怎么 Ethiopia and flower flavor。
写的我就发给他，写一点发一点，写一点发一点了。有的他可能
So good. So, our last stop of the Kunming coffee tour. It's a very brief tour, but I'm actually here in one of the oldest specialty coffee shops here in Kunming. They actually started in 1995. Daniel has brought me here in the past, and you know, I'm very happy to be here making a pour over. They actually use coffee straight from Yunnan as well as other places in the world, and pretty soon they're going to be changing the business to importing coffee in LA. So they're going to be in America, but this is still a really great shop in the community. It's right by one of the most famous rivers here in Kunming, and yeah, let's make a pour over. So that was a very quick but pretty indicative tour of the Kunming coffee scene. I'm now here in Puar. I'm at my friend's place, another friend. So Puar is a city, an hour flight. So I just got up this morning at around 5:30 to catch my flight to Puar for the next leg of my journey. I am on a coffee tour of Yunnan, and if you want to find out more about what's going on, definitely subscribe and leave a comment if you've ever had coffee from China and you want to give me some suggestions of where to go next. I would love to hear them. And 下一次见, it means see you next time.